I used to find it so hard to dress during summer, between sweaty fabrics, unflattering shapes, or the mountain of clothes stuffed in my wardrobe that I didn't truly like. It was overwhelming. It's so annoying to feel like you've spent a ton of money buying clothes that leave you feeling blah when you put them on. That was me a few years ago, and I thought the solution was to simply buy more clothes so that I had more options, but it turns out I simply needed less. So I want to share with you the 9 steps that I'm taking right now to reset and declutter my wardrobe, and I'm going to test this summer keeping only about 30 pieces in my wardrobe. That's not including accessories or shoes. Step number 1 for me was to check in with my lifestyle and activities for the summer. So I'm gonna think about, my lifestyle in general. I'm a mom of 2, and so what do I do on a regular basis? I go to soft plays, I go to play parks, I go to the farm with my kids. And also because I have small kids, I'm on the floor a lot. I'm up and down, like picking up kids. I don't want anything too short or revealing. Nothing wrong with that. But for me, that just makes me feel uncomfortable and like I can't fully relax. And so for me, my clothing really needs to fit in with that. So I find it really helpful to think about these kinds of things, the activities that we do, and also any outings that we have, any holidays. And I don't feel like we need to buy a new wardrobe just because we're going on holiday. Now that I have a more curated wardrobe, I find it so easy to come up with outfit ideas for our upcoming holidays. We are going to Isle of Wight this summer, and I didn't actually buy any one particular item for that holiday. It's just items I'm gonna wear all summer long. It's classic pieces. And also in this step, it's really helpful to think about your climate, obviously. So we are in the UK, and even though it's summer, we do get rainy days here and there. And the 2 things I keep in mind here is I want really light layers during summer, like this one, light and breezy, because even though sometimes it's not super hot or not as hot as it is in other countries, it can be so humid. Anything that's too tight or sweaty or uncomfortable, I just do not like to wear during summer. And I also need some rain gear, like my raincoat, my lightweight raincoat that stays out all year long. So those are just kind of some things I keep in mind in this step. Step number 2 is pick your colors. It took me a long time to figure out what colors I actually like wearing, and for the longest time I would pick the colors that I wore based on what's trending. Every season there's new colors or shades or things that brands come up with, and I realized I do not have to keep up with all of those. If I look at my digital wardrobe in my colors, I can see my most worn are beige, white, black, blue, gray, and pink. And so creating my digital wardrobe, it really made me realize that actually I prefer a lot of neutrals with a few pops of colors of mainly blue and pink. And so when I go shopping now, I can keep that in mind. Not that I cannot buy any other colors, but I know these are the colors I really love wearing, I tend to gravitate towards. And so if I do go shopping, I'm more mindful of that. But I'm also keeping in mind, if I add other colors to my wardrobe, do they go with the other items I already have in there? I find it much easier to mix and match when I have a good set of basics in like very basic colors and then some pops on top of that. Step number 3 is to pull everything out. And I know this sounds really intimidating, and this is what I do at the moment. I'm just going to take everything out of my wardrobe and go through all of the pieces with a more intentional perspective, keeping in mind all of the things I mentioned before. And I will say though, if you are just starting decluttering your wardrobe and there are piles in there like it was for me in the beginning, then I do not recommend getting everything out because it will likely be very overwhelming. So if that's the case, if you're just starting out and you feel really stressed by everything, maybe start with categories. Take out all of the jeans and go through those, or take out all of the leggings, or take out all of the t-shirts. I found this a lot more helpful when I didn't have a lot of time. I wanted to declutter, but I just wanted to be more mindful and not just throw a lot of things away and then realize I need to go and buy more. And so doing it like this might be helpful for you if you're just getting started. Now that my wardrobe is a lot more manageable, I can pull everything out without it feeling so intense and overwhelming. Step number 4 is to always store away the unwearables. So I store away anything that's off season. For my spring wardrobe, I actually kept a few more items than I normally would because I find that spring and maybe autumn as well, they're kind of more transition periods. And so you might need some lighter layers, some heavier layers depending on the day. But during summer, I think I can stick to the 30 pieces of clothing. And so anything that's off season, I'll store away. Anything that doesn't fit, either obviously declutter, or if you're in a transition transition period, like for example, if you're postpartum or in any sort of transition period like that, where you might want to keep different sizes of clothing, then you can store those away and just keep them for the future if you do need them, or keep them for a few months and see if you do kind of reach out for them. For me, I've stopped keeping items that don't fit anymore because my weight doesn't really fluctuate that much anymore. Now I'm out of the like baby phase, and I'm also going to store away anything that I think I'm not gonna wear for the next like 2 months or 3 months, you know, basically for the rest of the season. Now that we have all of these items out, next step is to pick your heck yes pieces. And these are items that you look at and you just know you're gonna wear them. You just know you love them. It's your favorite pair of jeans, your favorite t-shirts, the things you gravitate towards the most. Those are the things that are gonna go straight back in the wardrobe because you just know you're gonna wear them. And so you can go through each category of clothing and see which ones are your heck yes and which ones you wanna kind of think a bit more about as we go through the process. For my next step, I started picking my 30 pieces for the summer. So in my summer wardrobe at the moment, I have got 11 short tops, so short sleeve or sleeveless. I've got in there the 2 bodysuits by Zara, which I have worn so much, and they're such good staple pieces for me. I've got 2 black t-shirts. One is a v-neck and one is just a crew neck, kind of more tight fitting. And by the way, I'll try to link some of these items below, but some of them are really old, some of them are from Vinted, so I might not be able to find the exact links, but if you have any questions about the particular item, then let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you. Then I also have 2 white t-shirts. One is a COS white t-shirt, my absolute favorite. And then I actually recently added to my wardrobe another white t-shirt, which is a v-neck. And this one was by Uniqlo. And then I have a gray t-shirt as well in these categories. I've got a beige cropped top, which was H&M a very long time ago. I've got this blue Zara cropped top, which was a Vinted find. And then I've got 2 vests that are both by the Tea Store. They were sent to me last year. So those are the 11 short sleeve tops that I have. Then I've got 4 long sleeve tops, and these are mainly shirts. I realized in the summer I really like light layers, and there are a few fabrics that I like to wear. I really like linen blends, so either linen with cotton, which is like this shirt that I'm wearing right now, for example, this pink striped one. And then I also like linen and viscose. I really like that combo. I find that it's not as crease prone. It's very lightweight, kind of fluid, very comfy. So I actually really enjoy wearing viscose. And since I've been paying more attention to the fabrics that I like, I find that I'm making better choices if I go out and buy anything, or even if I look on Vinted to buy items. This shirt was a recent Vinted find as well. And I've been gravitating more towards kind of timeless, classic pieces like this. I also added to my wardrobe a blue striped shirt, and this one is by Uniqlo, again with a viscose blend in there. I think it feels very comfy and lightweight, especially for the summer, but I also think this type of shirt will be very versatile in other seasons as well, and it can be dressed up and down, which I really like having pieces like that in my wardrobe. And I have 2 white shirts. One is another linen blend, and then the other one is just a more fitted, slightly more fitted type of shirt that I've had for a very long time in my wardrobe. I'm talking like maybe 10 years or something. Then moving on to trousers, I have 5 pairs of trousers in there at the moment. 1 pair of jeans, which I'm wearing right now. These are mango jeans. Then I've got 1 pair of black leggings. I have some more in kind of my workout drawer, but I don't tend to wear them a lot in the summer just because it's so hot. So I tend to wear shorts for workouts anyway. And then I have 3 pairs of trousers, which are the same trousers, just in different colors. And these are all H&M viscose trousers. They're so lightweight, so perfect for summer. They call them cropped, but they're not cropped on me because I'm kind of tiny anyway. And I have them in black, cream, and leopard print. And I wear all of them so much in the summer. Then I have 4 pairs of shorts. I've got a floral pair, which is H&M. I found it on Vinted. I've got this gingham print, which is a Uniqlo purchase. This has been on my wish list for a very long time, and I added it to my wardrobe this summer, and I'm very much enjoying wearing these. Then I've got a pair of denim shorts and blue shorts as well, and those were also vintage finds. I have 3 pieces in the kind of dress and skirt categories. I have my 2 dresses, both of them are kind of a pink color, and then I have 1 pink skirt. And this is what I mean when I realized I actually really like wearing pink and blue. When I look in my wardrobe, those are the main colors that I see, aside from the neutrals, obviously. And then I have 3 pieces of outerwear in my summer wardrobe. I don't need a lot, but I still need a few here and there because it can be a little bit chilly in the mornings or evenings, and it can also be rainy sometimes. I've got a cream blazer. This one's by H&M a long time ago as well. I've got the blue denim jacket. This is a Levi's one, and this was a vintage find. And then I've got just a trusty raincoat. This is very lightweight, and it's by Mountain Warehouse, and it's just perfect for those spring and summer showers. And those are my 30 pieces that I'm keeping in my summer wardrobe. And then along with that, I have 6 pieces of accessories and shoes. So I've got 2 bags, and I find in the summer I tend to sometimes wear just my tote bag, just if I need to carry a bit more for the kids. And I have 4 pairs of shoes. I've got 2 sandals, the Birkenstocks, and then a pair of accessorized sandals that I've had for years, white trainers by Marks and Spencer's, and then I have my New Balance trainers as well. So my next step is to try styling these pieces. So I will have a look through my digital wardrobe and see, you know, for each piece that I have, do they kind of go with each other? Do I have trousers to wear with that shirt? And just kind of making sure that I have quite a versatile mix, because that means putting together outfits in the morning is so much easier if things easily match with each other. Oh, and by the way, if you want to go in my digital wardrobe and kind of have a look, my username on the Index app, I think it's just Madeline Hegedus. I will try to put my username below. This is not sponsored, by the way, but I've been using their app for almost a year now. If you go on the app, you can see all of the pieces I have in my current wardrobe, and I think you can also style some outfits for me. So I think you can pick and choose and create an outfit for me. So if you feel like having some fun, I would love that, and I can see all the outfits and maybe I'll wear them. So yeah, that will be linked below. Step number 8 that I did as I was decluttering my wardrobe, because I got rid of some old shorts, I've got rid of a dress and some items that I realized I wasn't wearing that much. So the next step was to fill gaps with intention. So I filled the gaps that I felt like were in my summer wardrobe with some of these lighter pieces, keeping in mind all of the fabrics that I like to wear. And also, whenever I buy something new, first thing I do is I go on Vinted and try to find it pre-loved. It's much better for not just our budget, but also for the environment. And then the next step will be to review at the end of the season. So once summer is over and I'm going to transition into the autumn one, which I will probably film as well. Let me know if you would like to see that. I can really keep track of what's been worn, what hasn't, what kind of pieces maybe I put on and then I was like, I'm not sure if I like this, I'm gonna take it off. Those kinds of pieces can probably go from my wardrobe. So this is something I'm gonna review at the end of the season. Let me know what kind of pieces you've been loving wearing this summer, and I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!